Stop it. Stop it. I'm gonna start thinking you're sincere with all that applause if you don't stop. Anyway, welcome back to More Up North. I'm really glad you're with us. You know, we live in the town of Anchorage. Many of us do. Many of you watching don't, but that's all right. Just bear with us. We live 5 minutes basically away from Alaska. And there's a lot of people here with jobs, and then there's a few people with really, really good jobs. And some of those people are UPS pilots. And they came in a couple of years ago, put a bunch of pilots in here. It was great. And they have really decent wages. And we've just found out this week that many of them are being furloughed. And across the country, 300, I believe, and 262 are from that are Anchorage. So I'm so glad that the president of the Independent Pilots Association, Captain Bob Thrush, is here. Mr. Airbus A300. I know. This is so much fun for a girl that hates to fly to actually list the plane that you fly, the Airbus. Woo! And next to him is First Officer Larry Merriman, who is a Boeing 747 co-pilot and instructor. And he also was a bush pilot here in Alaska, grew up here between Montana and Kodiak. And anyway, he's being furloughed on Sunday. So I'm glad you're here. And you know, you can come now every week.
Yeah, you have a lot of spare time.
And well, I'm just looking for the upside. Come on, people, it's depressing. So, and next to him is First Officer Scott Farley, who McDonnell Douglas MD 11 co-pilot and instructor, and also the Anchorage domicile representative, 10 years flying for UPS. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
He has a lot of fans. So anyway, thank you guys for being here. I was noticing when you were sitting up here, and there's a lot of people with white shirts here, and welcome. But one of these things is not like the other. One of these things just isn't the same. And you're not wearing your bars because we film in a cocktail lounge. But you're each wearing pins. And yours is gold, and yours is gold, and yours is black. Can you tell me what that means?
Mine's because I'm getting furloughed. And these guys, it's kind of a show of support for the folks that are not getting furloughed.
So they have you wear those. What does it mean?
Well, essentially, anyone that has received a letter from the company, there's 170 of them so far, and there'll probably be another 130 early next year. They're wearing the pin with our union logo in the center, and it's a black ribbon, showing that they're one of the guys that are on the list that are being laid off for no apparent reason. And the rest of us, the other 2,500 pilots, will be wearing these pins with the yellow ribbon. You know, that
so you don't normally wear pins, but during this
not
furlough...
a pin like this.
Okay.
No, this pin was made specifically for this furlough to show support for the furloughed pilots.
Well, that's got to feel kind of good.
Yeah.
Like, wow, you got a black pen. I know it also means that they take care of you too in the airport, correct? Like if you see somebody, you're not buying lunch or they kind of look out for you.
And then also, you know, as we talked about before, the providing COBRA for insurance for the folks that have no other method to get their own insurance. The union is providing COBRA for all the furloughed pilots, so things like that.
Which is why you go, union, yes. Do you understand this? 300 people are losing their jobs, and the union has decided that among their members, they are going to pay for the COBRA insurance for you and your families.
All right.
I swear, More Up North is going to unionize one of these days. We're going to do it. I'm trying to figure out how we can. So maybe you can tell us. I know, Scott, you've been working with the Anchorage crew for several years now. Can you tell about what it was for the pilots to come in and really set up shop here in Anchorage? I mean, people just like up and moved.
Yeah, they opened the domicile. We've been flying through here for years and years and years, but it's been a stop-off point, and we've been over at the Marriott or the Millennium down by the lake. Now what UPS decided to do is in 2006, they set up the domicile. 155 families came up here to join the 30 families that already lived up here throughout the whole UPS system. Now, 262 of the 300 people that are getting laid off are domiciled here, and of that 262 people, 84 families are actually living here. The rest of them commute in and out to do their flying.
That's considerable.
Yes, it's a considerable.
Especially a town, we don't have that many really great paying jobs. We don't have, you know, we're not a huge population. It's not like that many people are being pulled out of Houston or out of Atlanta or, you know, big cities.
Right.
So what do you think about all of this? So you've come up from out of state. You're the president of the union, and I know you've been fighting really hard to keep jobs for people like him.
Absolutely.
Tell me about that fight.
Well, really.
Because I hear you guys work out and you're kind of union thugs. Not
yeah,
really
pretty
seeing
much.
it.
You can tell.
I mean, I keep hearing that, but I haven't seen it yet.
Well, when UPS came to us last year, they came to the union and they said, we have a problem. Our domestic volume, packages were down in the middle of the recession, you know, how many packages were moving by air. And they came in and we had some over airplanes and they said, you know, we're going to park these airplanes. We don't have enough volume. It's too expensive to keep operating the planes. They parked 32 aircraft and they said, you know, we have extra pilots and we're in a position where we're going to have to lay off pilots. We have reduced flying on some other fleets besides the airplanes that they were parking. And we think we may have to lay off up to 300 pilots. The union said, well, and the point is what? And they said, well, we need to save money, obviously, on employee expenses that we don't need. So the union put their heads together and they came back to the company. How much money do you need to save? $131 million over the next 2.5 years. So we said, great. The union came up with a plan. We had like 5 different things that crew members could volunteer for to save the company money. We had guys sign up. And the original number they gave us was $131 million through the end of 2011. The union achieved $117 million of that $131 million, and we felt like if they would give us an additional sign-up period in 2010 later, because of the fact that the end of 2011 was still almost 2 years away, an additional sign-up period, we could easily achieve the other $14 million. A lot of guys can't plan that far ahead, you know, but guys were willing to work half schedules. They were willing to take time off without pay, do extended military leave with no pay from the company. Trade in sick leave, you know, sell sick leave back to the company, or give it back essentially for the value of the sick leave, things like that. And
hardly a noogie out behind the shed.
no, I mean it was 117 million, and actually if you projected it out with and there were some early retirements involved too, guys that would take early retirement, save the company money. If you projected it out through like 2012, it was just an extra year because of the cost savings with retirees. It was about $131 million. And what happened is, in January, the company came to us and they said, well, you know what, 131 million is not enough. Now we need $244 million, and we're going all the way out to 2015. And we're thinking we're going to furlough these 300 guys and not just leave them out for a couple of years, but perhaps 5 to 5.5 years.
So were they in the red then, or was the
Oh,
company
well, yeah,
really having a hard time?
And when they did that, that was right after they announced their fourth quarter profits of right at $1 billion and reinstated management incentive pay and management bonuses. And that was a big deal. They announced with Bloomberg, and you know they were on national TV, and they officially announced that the recession was over.
So do we know what the CEO of UPS made?
Yeah, I mean, it's a matter of record. I believe his salary is in the $5 million range, and then he receives bonuses and stock incentives that add up to several million more dollars.
So Anchorage alone is giving up over $12 million a year in just payroll, right?
The 84 pilots that live here that would be furloughed once this whole thing is complete, yes, it's almost $13 million just in payroll.
Just in payroll.
That's correct.
Well, those people, okay, you, for instance, you live here.
Mm-hmm.
I see where you shop. No, so you're making a decent living wage. You have a family here. So there's not really a lot in Anchorage that's out of your price range, I'm guessing, as far as activities or things you can do.
No,
I mean, you've got a good life and you can go do things that you enjoy doing and actually pay other people that live in town and keep their lives afloat.
go out to dinner. Like I say, I talked earlier, love to dive, so we pick at the dive shop. My daughter does a lot of sports activities, you know, which keeps people employed, coaches and stuff. My wife, yeah, so it's I think
But that's,
we support our community.
When you have